Hey, going people. Well, this is a good one. Florida cop planted meth on random drivers. Man, one of his victims lost custody of his daughter. Now, they don't say if it's one of the ones he planted, but unfortunately, when you're planting drugs, all your arrests are BS. I mean, you should have no credibility. Anybody arrested by you needs to be let go. And this guy needs to be put under the jail, not in the jail. I mean, this is, to me, the worst thing a cop can do, is use his position to put people in jail and take away their freedoms, not really because he didn't like them, just because he's a jerk and he wanted to pad his stats and get a lot of arrests. I mean, it's just crazy. There's a video, and you're going to watch, they have one video where he left his dash cam on, and you can clearly see he has something in his hands, but they said he went after, I mean, I don't know if it was hundreds. He has several hundred cases, I think. So this is Mr. Deputy Zachary Wester. Man, the lowest scum. And I know a lot of people are, there's going to be people in the comments saying, this happens all the time, cops do this all. Look, I'm telling you, I worked with probably hundreds of different agencies on task force and traveling around the U.S. and even across the country to bring kids back that were abducted. I mean, I've worked with a lot of federal and state agencies. I have never, out of the thousands of cops that I work with, ever seen anybody plant evidence. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. I just didn't see it. And it's usually pretty hard to do this unless you're working by yourself like this guy was. But most cops aren't going to put up with this. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's coming, they all lie, they all cover, they all... You know, they're not real quick to rat somebody out for something that'll cost them their job. If it's between a cop and a dirtbag and there's a issue on use of force or who caused it or something, cops will probably keep their mouths shut. But when it comes to planting evidence and flat out lying, like I said, I mean, I've only seen 3 times in my whole career that I had to intervene. One was with crooked DA Jeff Reisig, where he was trying to hide evidence during a murder trial for a death penalty case. And the other 2 times where cops kind of ganged up on a dude and I had to pull him off and said, hey, knock it off. You're getting too... He's got him. He's in custody. And all 3 times it cost me shit. So you got to pick your battles. But on something like planting evidence, dude, if I was working, I'd have went undercover just to catch him and burn him and work with him. I got no pity for these guys. Let's see where he says here. So he had 52 counts of racketeering, false imprisonment, official misconduct, fabricating evidence, possession of controlled substance. I think they searched his trunk and he had like 40 things. Let's see, bowling has since been cleared. There's at least 119 cases involving Wester where have been dropped. So they've only dropped, he's had 263 cases remain under review. There shouldn't even be a review. I mean, the only thing they're reviewing on these cases is if someone else found the dope, someone else was there first, the dope was found before this crooked POS showed up. That's what they're looking for when they say they need to look into it. Any case where he was by himself or he was there first and they found dope, it's gone. And even in cases where it wasn't, I mean, a defense attorney ought to be appealing. Let's see here. I'm going to show this video here in a second of him. Fell under suspicion last year after prosecutors noticed inconsistencies in what Webster wrote and reported and what was captured by his body cam. So see, he tripped himself up lying. Another good reason for body cams. Why all governments should wear them, not just cops. Let's see. It's a pretty long article. If I can remember, I'll put the comment. If I don't remember, well, it's on the Washington Post. So just, you can Google that, Florida cop planted meth on numerous drivers. So let's take a look at this video.
31 South in front of Peterbilt in Cottondale.
Okay, so he's calling in a traffic stop. I'm going to pause it like I normally do to kind of tell you from a cop's perspective what I'm seeing and what's inconsistent. So he stops this woman and he's super friendly. This traffic stop for a brake light is really odd. He could have got on a PA and had her pull in a parking lot. Been a lot safer than in the middle of the freaking road with cars going back and forth. So already, I don't even know the guy's setting up people, and I see he's a dummy. But I digress.
Hi.
I turn in here to get off.
You're fine. You're fine. Deputy Westfield Jackson County Sheriff's Office.
Deputy Webster Sheriff's Office, crook extraordinaire, setting up people. I'm going to be so nice, I'm going to kill you with kindness because I'm going to set you up with dope. Out freaking rageous. This guy, I'm telling you, cops do not put up with this. And I know the comments are going to say this happens all the time and it's routine, but I guarantee you it isn't.
The reason for my stop is your brake lights.
Yes, sir.
They work 1 minute, and the next minute they don't work, and then a few seconds later they just flash. Okay, so
It's probably supposed to rain.
okay, that's fine. You got your driver's license on you, ma'am?
I just got tickets the other day. I'll be glad to show
Oh,
them
did
to
you?
you.
No, you're fine. All right, thank you. I'll be right there.
My truck may or may not start. When I turn it off, you may have to push me off, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
Okay. Do you need to turn it off? Do you have to turn it off?
It'd be probably better.
Okay,
I'm on hard time with it as it is.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If
When
we
I
can,
answer my phone,
yeah. You can answer your phone. I'm just trying to think what's going to be best for. What is? What is that right there?
what is what?
That right there.
What is what? This?
That straw right there.
This is no straw. It's an ink pen.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
an ink pen.
It was connected. It looked like it was
No
connected
straw.
to that arm. Just
Hey, I
hang
just
tight,
got
okay?
pulled over the-
Okay, so he just goes back and runs it. I'm not going to bore you with this. We'll go up a little bit.
Sample code 17. Okay.
2554 to 25.
I think he calls for a dog on the computer.
Alright.
You 106 on anything?
Johnny's Barbecue.
Image 4. Just a little bit wet, so I'll be right there.
Simple. 554 4 to 27. 350 812.
Trying to get to the meat where he... Alright.
Oh.
So he's making a second approach, and here's where he's going to use his verbal judo and his skills to try and talk this woman into searching. Don't let people search your car, people. I don't get it. Remember the old drug program, Just Say No? Just say no to the cops when they ask you to search. It's your right to say no. He doesn't have probable cause, he can't get a warrant, and he can't detain you while he's waiting for a dog, even though that's what he said he was going to do.
You see my hip give out right then? Good Lord.
Look,
All
you
right.
just don't even need to know. I've been at the hospital with an
My
84-year-old
God.
couple all day long for 3 days.
Okay.
So I'm expecting anything at this point.
That would be, yeah, I hope everything turns out good with that, all right?
It did. It did.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm
It
sorry.
did. And I'm waiting on Dr. Albrecht to call me. That was another thing I was fixing to tell you.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm sorry. I am such a kind, officer-friendly. See all you people out there saying cops ought to be nice all the time? Just because a cop's nice don't mean he's not no good. Just because he's kind of short and kind of a jerk to you doesn't mean he's all bad.
Okay.
If Dr. Albrecht calls
That's
and they
fine.
answer his call.
Yeah, that ain't no problem. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not going to keep you from talking on the phone, okay? Anything that Vic I need to be concerned about? Bombs, hand grenades,
Drugs,
rocket launchers? Okay.
Big joke, hand grenades, dead bodies, rocket launchers, tanks. See, gets her to say, no, of course not. There's nothing in here. Do you want to look around? And she falls for it.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Here's what I do probably 10 or 15 times a shift, okay? There's going to be a K9 coming in a minute, and she's going to walk around the car, okay? But instead of doing that, would you consent to a search of your vehicle?
Here's what I do 10, 20 times a day. There's going to be a canine walk around a car, but if you consent. So what he did is he circumvented the Supreme Court ruling that you cannot detain somebody to wait for a dog. If a dog is available and shows up while you're on your stop in your normal course of business and your transaction, meaning if I stop you for taillights, I ask you for your license, I write you a ticket, and I give you your license and ticket, and you are free to go. I cannot prolong the contact just to wait for a dog. Or I can't say, you know what, I'm not going to write you a ticket, but just wait here till the dog gets here. Because as soon as I say I'm not going to write you a ticket, the contact's over. And the search becomes illegal. And fruits of the poisonous tree, even if the dog alerts and even if they find dope, the contact and the initial thing of that contact is going to be ruled wrong, and it's going to be thrown out. But let's see how he gets in here. He ain't got to worry about waiting for the dog, because this helpful, kind citizen that don't know her rights is going to help him for her.
You're fine with that? Okay. All right. You mind stepping out and just hanging out with this deputy right back here?
No, I don't.
Okay. But instead of doing that, would you consent to a search of your vehicle? You're fine with that? Okay. All right. You mind stepping out and just hanging out with this deputy right back here?
No, I don't.
So now you've just given the officer the legal right to detain you for as long as he wants to search your car. Another thing what people don't understand is consent. Once you give it, it can be withdrawn at any time. And you can also, when someone gives consent, you can put limitations on that consent. So if somebody says, look, I just want to check in your glove box, you got to reach in there and get the registration. I just don't know if there's a gun in there, and I don't really want you to go in there. Do you mind if I just search your glove box? Yeah, you can search my glove box. I'll open it. You can search with your eyes, but you ain't touching nothing. You can put conditions on your consent. Now, I don't recommend doing that, but the key point here is you can withdraw consent at any time. So you can say, yeah, go ahead and search, and then as soon as it becomes more than you want, you can say, you know what? I'm withdrawing my consent. The problem with that is if you've already given consent, and if I find something, and now you withdraw consent, now I have probable cause, or I have evidence that I can go get a warrant based on what I found doing when I was searching with your consent. So it's just better to say no. Look, if they get a warrant, if they want to search your car, they're going to get a warrant. And if they don't, then they won't. So don't help them out. It never benefits you to cooperate with government. Never. Whether it's property taxes, whether it's in court, whether it's being a good witness, whether it's informing on somebody, whether it's calling 911, you will never benefit from getting involved with government. You will become a witness. You will be subpoenaed. You will miss work. You will not be compensated. It's just all bad. But, you don't have to listen to me.
Scared of being in this traffic.
No, Deputy Hayke will take care of you.
Can I take my phone?
Yeah, take your phone. I don't care. That's fine. Come on. $25.54 to $25.40. You can cancel. I got consent.
If he's got consent, why is he going back to his car? Why isn't he searching? Because he's not on a time schedule now. He's got all the time in the world because you just gave up your right to leave by saying, go ahead. I'm cooperative. I have nothing to hide. I know there's nothing in my car. Nothing bad can come out of this. Well, that's because you're going to jail.
226.
If he ain't on a computer and he ain't on the radio, why is he digging around his car?
Deputy Hayke will make sure you don't get run over, okay? Because I have faith that he would prefer to get over. All right, just hang tight, my son.
So he's going to tell the guy to keep her safe, and this is all deflection. This is all, I'm your friend. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not trying to send you to jail. I'm not trying to convict you of a crime. I'm not trying to find evidence that I can convict you and take you to jail. Why the hell else are you searching? I mean, I never searched a car with the intent to help somebody. Unless they said, hey man, I dropped my keys and I can't find them because I'm too drunk. Then maybe I'd help them find their keys. Because it makes it easier when I tow it with their keys. Rick, you can't do that. You're just... Oh, be quiet, you big crybabies. Okay, so I'm not sure why he's reaching in here. Here's where you're going to really watch his hand. And he's going to have his left hand cupped. What's in his hand? Why is this hand cupped right here? Because that's where he's got the dope he's about to plant. This is so freaking crooked, man. I cannot believe this. I can already hear the comments, 1,000 people. They do it all the time. They did it to me. They did it to my brother. They did it to my cousin. They did it to my aunt. Yeah, whatever. This is so egregious. This guy, he's only facing 30 years. 30 years is the max he can get. I hope he gets more, and I think he should get more. This is, oh, I just can't believe this. Notice his hand. It's cupping something. This hand isn't cupped because he's putting a glove on. Here's where I think he plants it. He reaches down and drops it or hides it somewhere. At first, I thought this was the dope. And he covers it up with a bag once he gets this on here. But it's not the dope. So I'm not even sure why he's manipulating this. But he manipulates that, and I had to watch it twice because I thought that was the baggie. But it's not. What's he doing? Where's his other hand? Why isn't this glove? And this is what the investigators were doing when they were going through this film. What's taking him so long? Why hasn't he got this glove on? What's he doing with his other hand? Why is there stagnant in the camera, but there's one hand out of view that was cupped earlier? Can't put a glove on with your hand cupped. Oh, now the hand isn't cupped. And now he's reaching underneath here. He's covering this up. So that's why I originally thought this was the baggie that was there earlier, and maybe he didn't plan it. But that's not the bag of dope. And now, of course, he got rid of whatever's in his hand, and now he's going to put the glove on. What a crooked, low-down, dirty, no-good, boot, jackhammer, tar pit, run him over with an 18-wheeler jerk. Ah! This is called a fishing expedition. Now, somebody's going to say, that's illegal. No, it's not. Why isn't it illegal? Rick, you can't go on a fishing expedition. The courts are... Ah, listen, you big dummies. He got consent. He got consent to search. He can search any and however long he wants until that consent is revoked. So this is not a fishing expedition in the sense that cops can't go out there. And it's already been ruled that as long as a cop has a reason to do what he's doing, it doesn't matter how he does it or what his intent is. Unless, of course, his intent is to set you up and plant evidence. Obviously, that's never okay. Okay, so the camera goes away again. We only got one hand working. Where's the other hand? Where's the other hand? Dude, what are you reaching for? Where's the other hand?
Do what now?
So see, he already knows he's playing the dope. He knows he's going to find it. So he's still being Mr. Nice Guy. Another thing about having another officer here is this officer is tied up with her, so he doesn't have a witness. He doesn't have to worry about somebody else's camera or somebody catching him. I mean, this is conspiracy. This is planning of evidence. I mean, he's been in possession of evidence. He's in possession of contraband. He used government power to pull him. I mean, this is like the worst possible abuse. I can't believe he's only facing 30 years. Outrageous.
All right, I'll see if I can find it for you.
So I don't know where this spoon came from. I tried to look several times and I could not figure it out.
All right, I'll see if I can find it for you.
So obviously he didn't plant the spoon, but I've searched a lot of cars where they got silverware. The kind of cars that we're searching, people just eat and throw shit in the ground, or I found steak knives, butter knives, forks, spoons. It's not unusual. This spoon is not built like a heroin spoon where it's bent over and it's got burnt marks on it. He looked back and forth. There's no burnt marks on it. But he's going to make it seem like they're connected with his planted evidence. Is there something in that hand? No. Okay, so where did that come from? Let's go back. See, you can't tell when he's digging in there. He reached down and grabbed a spoon. I don't know where his other hand's at. Okay, so that's a dope. He ends up arresting her, and she's like, that ain't mine. Let me see if I can get to the point to where he... He messes around with the other side of the car door trying to get in and out.
Does this door not open right here? That's fine. Yep.
2558.
So he shows this guy the dope. Now, they could have been doing a case already. So this cop could have looked and known they were doing a case. I'm sure somebody probably knew they were doing a case. They didn't share it with everybody, but they usually notify the chief or the captain or somebody in the agency knows that they're running this investigation on this guy.
Neither he nor his brother Franklin want contact with the complainant. Apparently there's an ongoing family feud between them.
Pause this and find it.
Miss Odom.
It is yogurt, sir.
I know. Okay.
It's yogurt.
How about this, though?
That is not mine. No, sir.
Okay.
Man, her behavior and her body language, if I was a cop, I'd believe her. And I may not be able to explain it, but I can tell with her assuredness and her like, that is not mine. I 100,000% believe her just through her body language, the way she says it. Her reaction is very, this is bullshit.
Okay.
It's yogurt.
How about this, though?
That is not mine. No, sir.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you any
No,
direct, hold on.
sir.
I'm not going to ask you any direct questions. I'm going to read you your rights first, okay? So just hang out with Deputy Hayke here.
What is it?
I have an idea. We're going to test it, though, okay?
Out freaking outrageous. All right. So if you want to watch that whole video, you can just search it. This is the website or the address if you want to type that out. Here's what the Attorney General put out. Okay, so Florida Department of Law Enforcement. I'm sure that's like DOJ in some areas, the Attorney General. I could be wrong. Somebody knows that. It's Commissioner. But anyway, he says, Zachary, 26, on felony charges for racketeering, fisherman misconduct, fabricating, and possession of control, some false imprisonment. Webster, former deputy of the county sheriff's office, was arrested this morning. He is also charged with misdemeanor perjury. What is a misdemeanor perjury? He was falsifying government documents that resulted in somebody losing their freedom and going to prison. How can that be a damn misdemeanor? Possession of controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, meaning he had drugs and drug paraphernalia that he was planting, that he was keeping. The investigation last August at the request of the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. The investigation shows routinely pulled over citizens for alleged minor violations or infractions, planted drugs inside their vehicle, and arrested them on fraudulent drug charges. Absolutely outrageous. There's no questions, deliberate. I'm proud of the hard work. You know, this is where government starts patting themselves on the back. We're so great because we caught one of our own doing this shit, and people have been going to prison for years now, over 263 cases. But we're really proud of how everybody put together and caught this guy. Whatever. During the investigation, they reviewed or analyzed 1,300 minutes of recorded video and logged over 1,400 hours on the case. Sorry, big deal. Those are stats grabbers. That'll justify more money and more investigators, and we need more government to investigate government because we lower the standards and we have quota hires and we have to hire incompetent, so we need more people doing incompetent jobs, and we need more people to investigate the incompetent people we hired, and just grow government and grow government. All right, here's a phone number. Regarding this case, please contact these people. These people aren't going to be able to get a stronger sentence, but this is outrageous to me. I hope this guy goes under the freaking jail. I think people that commit crimes like this ought to be the worst crime. It ought to be 25 to life, including politicians, anybody working for the government that uses their position to harm others, either physically, take away their freedoms, or deprive them of money. It should be the greatest felony with a 25-year mandatory sentence. This shit would stop overnight, and politicians would stop lying and telling people how to hide from ICE and doing all the other crooked, illegal stuff. There is no teeth in our laws to hold government accountable except for that pesky piece of paper, the Constitution, which nobody wants to fight or enforce. We just like to run around and say, we got a Constitution, you can't do that. We got a Constitution, you can't do that. Okay, keep singing a song. Get on the train. It's a short ride. You'll enjoy it. We'll give you a free drink or free meal when we get to our final location. All right, well, they're not there. This is the lowest piece of crap I've seen in a long time.